Now it's official. The first woman and the first African to hold the presidency of the International Olympic Committee has taken over the reins. Kirsty Coventry has moved into the top job in Lausanne, Switzerland.
To all of my family and friends who have always kept me grounded, some of my closest friends still would not be able to tell you what race I swam in at all through any of my career.
Interestingly, the previous woman in the most influential office in sport was Fatma Samoura, also an African. She was the former Secretary General at FIFA. Coventry has enjoyed a 3-month grace period as the former president, Thomas Bach, eased out, allowing Kirsty Coventry to ease in. But now the pressure will ramp up. The internal and external politics, the personal rivalries, the activists around the world who use the Olympics as a personal platform for their own agendas. And of course, the constant media attention in a fractious geopolitical world. In the days prior to the handover, Kirsty Coventry held a roundtable with some of the world's media.
Tracy Holmes. Tracy.
Thanks, Mark. Hi, Kirsty.
Hi,
First of all, I won't ask you a parochial question. I'm glad Julian did. I want to take you back to Zimbabwe and to Africa more broadly. How do you think that is going to impact your presidency? Because that also is extremely new and very different. And what kind of eyes will you bring to your list of priorities being from that part of the world?
Yeah. Thanks, Tracy. No, I think it's such a great question and such a great point. I think for me, that's where I see one of my strengths coming from Zimbabwe, a much smaller NOC, a developing country, the challenges that countries like mine go through, the challenges that their athletes go through, and how do we close that gap? What does that look like? How are we going to be able to really ensure that athletes from all walks of life have, if not the same opportunities, equal opportunities to get access to sport? And there's a lot of expectations, rightfully so. But really, this is where I think us engaging as a movement, looking at our programs and how we deliver them, the use of technology, how can that really broaden the scope and impact that we have as a movement so that it can really reach far places. Those are really going to be important assets and facets for me to follow through in my presidency.
So you said that's one of your strengths, and you said to Sean Ingle that you should know your strengths and weaknesses. I don't know if you want to tell us what your weaknesses are, but just on that front, I wonder if you will be the sort of leader who will engage with the experience around you, and I guess especially the other candidates that were running for the presidency and the various skills and expertise or experience that they have. Will you tap into that in any specific way?
Yes, 100%. I am very much a leader I think this is something that I spoke about in the campaign. I feel like I'm right in the middle of bridging both age gaps. So very much want to tap into both sides. And all of the members have incredible backgrounds, incredible ideas, and we need to ensure that we're using all of that to the best of our ability to strengthen our movement. I'm not someone, and I never have been, and I think even my competitors when I was swimming can tell you that once the competition was over, we were friends and we moved forward, and we had that mutual respect for each other. And I hope that will be the case in our movement. In terms of what we will be doing, again, on the 24th and 25th, to give you guys a little bit of insight, we have a workshop where the members will be in 5 different groups. One of the leads of the groups is a candidate and was a candidate and had some very strong opinions on this specific topic. So again, really, it's important for me that everyone is engaged, everyone feels that they have a seat at the table and can really share their ideas and their thoughts. And then it's about us collectively coming together and deciding what we feel is going to be the best for the future of the movement. And again, for me, I will obviously always be looking at it as how does it impact all of the stakeholders, and how are we going to reach those 9 and 10-year-olds around the world to ensure that the movement remains relevant for them?
One thing is certain, Kirsty Coventry probably doesn't need reminding that being the first woman in a position means she will be judged differently to all of those who came before. As a leader with access to the world's most powerful and influential people, her ability to remain grounded will be tested. She must be sure that the advisors she places around her are loyal and can be trusted. And together with her relative youth, if she taps into the wiser, more experienced members of the Olympic movement, her presidency is definitely going to be something to watch. Remember, you can follow me here on YouTube, or if you want more, subscribe to the podcast on patreon.com. Otherwise, you can also find me on Substack and all social media.